It's 4:20 p.m. here at the Howling Moon Studios in Northern California. It's another beautiful Saturday afternoon here. Weather is fantastic, and the rain has subsided at least for now. And California is having, you know, wildflower blooms that you can see from space, which is pretty impressive. I really encourage you to go online and just look up California wildflower blooms and look at some of the shots from the satellites and the space shuttle. It's really something else. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well. I have spent most of this year playing my own songs, and it's been a long time since I've played a show that was mostly covers, and there's some songs I really miss. So today I'm going to go heavy on the covers, and I hope that's okay. I've really enjoyed playing the songs I wrote, you know, as the dominant thing, but I know a lot of other songs, and I feel like playing some of them today, so I hope that's okay. Anyway, I have a really good friend and kind of a new collaborator I'm working with, and his name is David, and I want to play this show for him just in case he's watching. Think I'll go out to Alberta, weather's good there in the fall. I got some friends that I can go working for. Still I wish you'd change your mind if I ask you one more time. We've been through this 100 times before. Four strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, and all the things that don't change, come what may. Oh, the good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I look for you if I'm ever back this way. If I get there before the snow flies, and if things are looking good, you could meet me if I sent you down the fair. But by then it may be winter, not too much for you to do. Those winds sure can blow hard way down there. 4 strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, and all the things that don't change, come what may. For the good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. And I look for you if I'm ever back this way. Still I wish you'd change your mind if I ask you one more time. And we've been through that 100 times before. 4 strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, and all the things that don't change, come what may. For the good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. And I look for you if I'm ever back this way. And I look for you if I'm ever back this way. To lead a better life, I need my love to be here. here, making each day of the year, changing my life with a wave of her hand. Nobody can deny that there's something there, running my hands through her hair, both of us thinking how good it could be. Somebody's speaking, she doesn't know he's there. I want her everywhere. When she's beside me, I know I need never care. To love her is to need her everywhere, knowing that love is to share. Each one believing that love never dies, watching her eyes, hoping I'm always there. I want her everywhere. When she's beside me, I know I need never care. To love her is to need her everywhere, knowing that love is to share. Each one believing that love never dies, watching her eyes, hoping I'm always there. To be there and everywhere, here, there, and everywhere. So it's kind of funny. There's a bunch of songs that I'm going to play today that I haven't played like all year. In fact, I'm not even sure when the last time was I played them. And that's the great thing about music. There are so many wonderful songs, and some of them transport you to a specific place. You remember maybe it was the first time you heard a song, or something momentous happened in your life and the song happened to be playing, and so you associate it with that moment. And I don't remember what the moment was when I first heard this next song, but I do know that in the history of Moonalice, this song has a very special place because we made a video of it at the Great American Music Hall with G.E. Smith and Ann singing it. And it got a gazillion plays on YouTube, at least a gazillion for us. And every once in a while, somebody will just send me a link saying they're still watching it. And I think we recorded maybe in 2008 or 2009. And so the fact that it's had that kind of enduring presence is pretty cool. Skip the light fandango, turn cartwheels across the floor. I was feeling kinda seasick. Crowd called out for more. Room was humming harder as the ceiling flew away. So we called out for another drink. The waiter brought a tray, and so it was. Later, as the miller told his tale, that her face at first just ghostly turned a whiter shade of pale. She said, I'm home on shore leave. In truth, we were at sea. So I led her through my looking glass. I would not tether thee. Said, you must be the mermaid. one took old Neptune for a ride. She smiled at me so sweetly that my anger straightway died. And so it was later, the miller told his tale, that her face at first just ghostly turned to whiter shade of pale. She said there is no reason, the truth was plain to see, but I wandered through my playing cards. I would not let her be, no, 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 one of 16 Vestal virgins who were leaving for the coast. Though my eyes were open, they might just as well be closed. And so it was later, as the miller told his tale, her face at first just ghostly turned to whiter shade of pale. And so it was later, as the miller told his tale, that her face at first just ghostly turned to whiter shade of pale, turned to whiter shade of pale, turned to whiter shade of pale. I was reminded of that song because Keith Reed, the guy who wrote the lyrics, passed away a week ago. And, you know, apparently the lyrics are part of a poem that he had written that's much, much longer. And but he picked out a set of lyrics that have had persistence in our imaginations, right? And you know, the lyrics are so evocative of that psychedelic era and that 60s kind of go-go thing. And I was reminded of this again yesterday because of the passing of Mary Quant, the woman who invented the miniskirt. Another massive icon of the 60s, somebody who managed to do things her own way and influence the culture in a way that not very many people get to do. And it was a beautiful era that way, in that, things became huge without the kind of contrived marketing that is pretty much the only way anything happens now. And I think we're the poorer for that we've lost that. Here's one I haven't played in ages. Seen the bright lights of Memphis and the Commodore Hotel. Beneath that southern moonlight, I rang a southern bell where she took me to the window, where she cast a spell. In that southern moonlight, she sang this song so well. If you be my Dixie chicken, I'll be your Tennessee lamb. We can walk together down in Dixieland, down in Dixieland. We hit all the hot spots, my money flowed like wine. Oh, that southern whiskey began to fog my mind. Oh, and I don't remember church bells, the money I put down on the white picket fence and boardwalk, the house at the edge of town. Oh, but boy, do I remember the strains of her refrain, the nights we spent together, the way she called my name. If you'll be my Dixie chicken, I'll be your Tennessee lamb. We can walk together down in Dixieland, down in Dixieland. Many years since you went away, the guitar player sure can play. He's always happy in a song, always handy with a song. Well, one day down in the barroom, the Commodore Hotel, I chanced to meet a bartender who said he knew her well. Oh, and as I handed me a drink, began to hum a song, and all the boys there at the bar began to sing along. If you'll be my Dixie chicken, I'll be your Tennessee lamb. We can walk together down in Dixieland. Well, if you be my Dixie chicken, I'll be your Tennessee lamb. We can walk together down in Dixieland, down in Dixieland. Many's the time I've been mistaken, many times confused. Yes, and I've often felt forsaken, certainly misused. It's alright, it's alright, just weary to my bones. Still, you don't expect to be bright and bon vivant so far away from home, so far away from home. I don't know a soul that's not been battered, don't have a friend who feels at ease, don't know a dream that's not been shattered, sent to its knees. It's alright, it's alright, we live so well, so long. Still, when I think of the road we're traveling on, I wonder what's gone wrong. That's right, now I wonder what's gone wrong. And I dreamed I was dying, I dreamed that my soul rose unexpectedly, gazing back down on me, smiled reassuringly, and I dreamed I was flying, and on up above my eyes can show to see Statue of Liberty sailing away to sea, and I dreamed I was flying. We come on the ship they call the Mayflower. We come on the ship, sail the moon. We come in the age's most uncertain hour, sing an American tune. It's all right, it's all right. We've lived forever blessed. Still tomorrow's gonna be another working day. I'm trying to get some rest. That's right, and I'm trying to get some rest. So I recently read a pre-release version of the memoirs of Clarence Jones, who is a dear friend of mine and someone who's been a role model, a mentor, an inspiration. Clarence is, well, the book is called The Last of the Lions. And it's about Clarence's experiences in the civil rights movement, where he was the attorney and speechwriter and friend of Martin Luther King. And that obviously was an extraordinary experience where he did things like smuggling the letter from Birmingham jail out of the jail. And he wrote the first draft of the I Have a Dream speech. But, you know, what I hadn't realized was some of the stuff that happened after that. You know, for example, he was advising Malcolm X in the period right up to and including the day when Malcolm X was assassinated. And then later on, he was asked to be one of the negotiators who went into the Attica prison during the prison riot. And he helped to make the Rumble in the Jungle happen, the George Foreman, Muhammad Ali fight that was in Zaire. I mean, this is more than a memoir. In some ways, it's, at least for me, it's like a textbook on how to be an activist. And this next song is a song I associate with activism. If you read the lyrics, it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with that. But for me, it really does mean this. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, and also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. you. I hear babies a crying. I watch them grow. They learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, and also on the faces, people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying how do you do. They're really saying I love you. I hear babies crying. I watch them grow. They learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yeah. So I remember when this next song came out. It was on the Rolling Stones album Sticky Fingers. And, you know, I forget what year that was, maybe 1970. So I'd have been in high school, maybe even junior high school, whatever it was. I mean, everything on this album had a big impact on me, but this song in particular. Childhood living is easy to do. The things that you wanted, I bought them for you. Graceless lady, you know who I am. You know I can't let you slide through my hand. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. I watched you suffer, darling, and pain. Now you decided to show me the same. No sweeping treat you unkind. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild, wild horses couldn't drag me away. I know I dreamed you a sin and a lie. I have my freedom, but don't have much time. Faith has been broken, tears might be cried. Let's do some living after we die. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild, wild horses, we'll ride them someday. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild, wild horses, we'll ride them someday. Blackbird sing in the dead of night, bake these broken wings and learn to fly. I'm gonna start that again. Blackbird sing in the dead of night. Well, I don't know, maybe I'm having a bad day. I'll skip this one. For whatever reason, I'm just not feeling it. Nah, fuck it, I can do this. I'm laughing because last night, or the night before last, Bob Dylan played in Tokyo, and he started Broke Down Palace by the Grateful Dead, and he apparently got 2 verses into it and then stopped and said, you know, I thought I knew this song, and gave up, which is really hilarious because the night before he played Truckin', and they played that fantastically. Anyway, so I'm apparently channeling Bob. No, I'm not feeling the finger picking today. Screw it. Too much Bob Dylan. Riding on the city of New Orleans, here North Central, Monday morning round. 15 cars, 15 restless riders, 3 conductors and 25 sacks of mail, all along the southbound Odyssey. Train pulls out of Kankakee, rolls on past houses, farms, and fields, passing towns that have no name, freight yards full of old black men, and the graveyards of the rusted automobile. Good morning, America, how are you? I say, now don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train that comes, city of New Orleans. And I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Dealing cards with the old men in the club car. Penny a point, ain't no one keeping score. Pass the paper bag that holds the bottle. Feed the wheels are rumbling beneath the floor. The sons of Pullman porters, sons of engineers, ride the father's magic carpet made of steel. Mothers with their babes asleep, rocking to that gentle beat. The rhythm of the rails is all they feel. Good morning, America, how are ya? Sina, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train that comes, city of New Orleans. And I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Nighttime on the city of New Orleans. Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home, we'll be there by morning. Through the Mississippi Delta, down to the sea. All the times the people seem to fade into a bad dream. Steel rails still ain't heard the news. Conductor sings his song again. The passengers will please refrain. This old train's got the disappearing railroad blues. Good morning, America, how are ya? I say, now don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train that comes, city of New Orleans. And I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Good night, America, how are ya? I say, now don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train that comes, city of New Orleans. And I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. And I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Times are hard, you're afraid to pay the fee, so you find yourself somebody can do the job for free. And you need a little loving, 'cause your mind is out of town. That's the time you get me running. You know I'll be around. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. I don't want to do your dirty work no more. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. Light the candle, put the lock upon the door. You have sent the maid home early, like 1,000 times before. Like a candle in the corner in a medieval game. I foresee terrible trouble. I stay here just the same. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. I don't want to do your dirty work no more. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. I don't want to do your dirty work no more. I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. So, behind my left shoulder on your right, that's a Jackie Robinson replica jersey. And today is Jackie Robinson Day in Major League Baseball. So everybody wears number 42, which, as you know, is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. And so, you know, there is just a certain symmetry the way life works, and the notion that The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Jackie Robinson would converge on the same number, which I suspect is purely coincidental, but for me at least has extreme meaning. And you've probably heard the story before. When I was 9 years old, I met Jackie Robinson at a civil rights event in my hometown. And, you know, it was at a church, and there were like 25 women, Jackie Robinson and me, at age 9. And, you know, in my household, Jackie Robinson was a huge deal. And so this is like my favorite day of baseball. Now, today didn't turn out well for the Phillies at all. We got creamed. I mean, we got shut out by the Reds, which is really embarrassing. But nonetheless, it's a really important day in baseball. I think this next song is, again, I don't think it had anything to do with Jackie Robinson, but I think it fits. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us on the sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Oh, oh. Imagine all the people. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possession, wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. You know, the thing about Bob Dylan playing Grateful Dead songs this week and having trouble with Broke Down Palace started a conversation in our car while we were going into San Francisco today, you know, about his Nobel Prize and some of the other things that were in there. And, you know, there's so many things about Bob Dylan that really stand out. And I was struck because a really good friend of mine in Vancouver, who's, I don't know, he's probably 15 years younger than I am. He'd like grown up in a different era and he'd never listened to Bob Dylan. And he had just this week discovered another side of Bob Dylan. That's like literally his introduction. I mean, yeah, sure, he knows the names of some songs, but he'd never listened to whole albums all the way through. And I'm going, wow, that's great. Another side of Bob Dylan. Not a bad place to start. But how about the 65 and 66 albums, right? How about Bringing It All Back Home and Highway 61 Revisited and Blonde on Blonde, which I think, you know, that's pretty much a sweet spot. Not the only one, obviously. And then, you know, later on you get Planet Waves and Blood on the Tracks and Desire. And really Before the Flood, which is mixed in their live album. But also the bootleg Volume 5, which is the Rolling Thunder Review. Those are all amazing albums. And then obviously you go back to the very beginning and, you know, you have Freewheeling and Times They Are Changing. And it just goes on and on, right? And Rough and Rowdy Ways, which is the most recent album, is really compelling. And the conversation that happened in the car today was sort of about all the people that Bob Dylan had influenced. I mean, you think about people whose careers were basically made by their association with them. The Byrds, obviously getting started because of Mr. Tambourine Man. Peter, Paul, and Mary. You know, I mean, Joan Baez made Bob Dylan, but she also sang a lot of his songs and had a bunch of hits from his songs, so that kind of went both ways. But then for me, there's the band, which almost certainly would have been amazingly successful even if they'd never met Bob, but their association with Bob was pretty huge. And then, of course, there's the Dead, which wound up, you know, I don't know how many Bob Dylan songs were in their repertoire, but it must have been 50. I mean, just an insane number, including ones that, you know, nobody else plays. You know, Desolation Row, every verse. I mean, just insane stuff. But the band. And the incredible thing about the band, of course, is they had their own songs, and this is one of them. Makes no difference where I turn, can't get over you, the flame still burns. Makes no difference, night or day, shadow never seems to fade away, and the sun don't shine anymore, and the rains fall down on my door. Now there's no love that dies untold. But the clouds never hung so low before. It makes no difference how far I go, like a scar the hurt will always show. It makes no difference who I meet, it's just a face in the crowd on a dead-end street. And the sun don't shine anymore, and the rains fall down on my doors. These old love letters, well, I just can't keep, 'cause like the gambler says, read 'em and weep, and the dawn don't rescue me no more. Without your love, I'm nothing at all, like an empty hall. It's a lonely fall since you've been gone. It's a losing battle, stampeding cattle, they rattle the wall, and the sun don't shine anymore, and the rains fall down on my door. Well, I love you so much, it's all I can do just to keep myself from telling you that I never felt so alone before. In my dreams I'm gonna build a giant ocean liner. In my dreams it will be like Titanic, only finer. In my dreams the passengers will come from cable news and politics. Blowhards and hypocrites divide the country with their shticks. The network and the wingnuts sow anger and resentment, while 5 white souls in Washington turn back the Enlightenment. The speaker thinks it's peachy, the turtle thinks it's hot. They both claim to be Lincoln, but honest Dave, they're not. Whoa, 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 whoa. The captain is that guy whose cruise ship ran aground. They say he's reborn, but he's nowhere to be found. I'll send the apprentice and the model, Tweedledum and Tweedledee, and their fashion-selling daughter and her preppy out to sea, and all the angry white folks with their statues and their swastikas, gun nuts and cyber trolls. putting down the rest of us. Whoa, 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 whoa. The lookout is that guy from the Exxon Valdez. He'll be 3 sheets to the wind, even when there is no breeze. In my dreams I'm gonna build a maritime disaster. In my dreams it will sink like Titanic, only faster. In my dreams they give out prizes for getting rid of bad guys, but my ship's not big enough for all the assholes and their big lies. In my ship they've got a second ship to carry all the overflow, and several others in construction, 'cause the asshole population grows. Yes, it grows. In my dreams, in my dreams, in my dreams. I want to send that out to the Dominion guys who are, who may actually have figured out how to stop News Corp and Fox News. I mean, you actually get the impression that there will be justice, that we may actually have a court case that says that if you call yourself a journalistic organization, that you actually have to tell the truth, or at least the best understanding of the truth. The notion that you can lie to people with impunity and absolute foreknowledge, that is to do it in a premeditated way. That is so bad. I mean, it's not just bad for democracy. It's horrible for democracy, but it's horrible for society in general. And you get these just insane situations where people are just angry all the time. And they're angry all the time because Fox and the people who are using Facebook to provoke outrage are able to do that without any consequences. And it would be really nice if somebody had some right now. I was born by the railroad track. The train whistle wailed and I went right back. My papa left mama when I was quite young. He said, one of these days you're gonna follow me, son. Satisfied. Whoa, I ain't ever satisfied. Now I had me a woman, she was my world, but she ran off with her backstreet girl. Now that backstreet woman, she would not be true. And I'm standing on the corner and dreaming about you. Whoa, I ain't ever satisfied. Whoa, I ain't ever satisfied. I got an empty feeling deep inside. Last night I dreamed I made it to the promised land. I was standing at the gate with the keys in my hand. St. Peter said, welcome boy, you're finally home. I said, no thanks Pete, I'll be moving on. Whoa, whoa, I ain't ever satisfied. Whoa, I ain't ever satisfied. Whoa, I ain't ever satisfied. Whoa, whoa, I ain't ever satisfied. It seems like no matter where you start, in the end it always comes back to Bob Dylan. Come gather around people wherever you roam. Admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. Your time to you is worth saving. You'd better start swimming and you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changin'. Come writers and critics, prophesize with your pen. Keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. Don't speak too soon, 'cause the wheel's still in spin. There's no telling who that it's naming. The loser now will later to win, for the time they are a-changin'. Come senators and congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. He who has heard, he who has stalled. It's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changin'. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticize what you don't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get off of the new one if you can't lend a hand, for the times they are a-changin'. The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. So now will later be fast as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly changing. The first one now will later be last. The times they are a-changin'. For the time they are a-changin'. For the time they are a-changin'. That song right now seems so relevant because it brings to mind what's happened in Tennessee the last 2 weeks. And, you know, the two Justins who were state legislators in the state of Tennessee 2 weeks ago. And then the Republicans pulled this massive racist play to try to expel them without having thought it through, because, of course, both of them are back in because it turns out that they got reappointed by the people who voted them in the first time. And so they're back in there, but now they are national figures, and they are extraordinary, right? They're both in their 20s. And they have serious, I mean, really serious political skills. And, you know, last year we elected Maxwell Frost, who's a young man in his 20s, to the House of Representatives in Florida. Of course, we have AOC in New York, and Ayanna Pressley in Massachusetts, and Cori Bush in Missouri, and Rashida Tlaib, and Ilhan Omar, and a bunch of other people who, Katie Porter, who are in the House of Representatives, who, they really are, the times are a-changing. And, you don't have to agree with them on everything. I don't agree with them on absolutely everything, but I like their style. And I think they're exactly what we need. And as we've gone through here in California, the whole debate about Senator Feinstein, whose cognitive deterioration has become pronounced enough that it's really gotten in the way of a lot of really important things. And now her recent bout with shingles has prevented her from being in the Senate, and therefore has stopped judicial nominees from coming out of the Judiciary Committee, which is a huge problem. And, we need the times to change pretty aggressively right now. And there are little signs here, there, and everywhere that maybe that's going to happen. So today, of course, being Jackie Robinson Day, means we're only 5 days from the high holy day of the Moonalice tribe. And I would hope that as many of you as possible will come to that show Thursday evening at the Chapel in San Francisco. It's an early start. It's a 6 o'clock doors, 7 o'clock start. And, we haven't been able to do it because of COVID for 3 years. But we're basically picking up where we left off. The venue we used to do it at, Slim's, closed just as COVID was beginning. And so we are doing it in a new venue, but there'll be an amazing poster set for everyone who attends. And I want to say, I think there are 23 posters in the set and maybe 3 screen prints. It's either 20 in the set and 3 screen prints, or 23 and 3. But an amazing set of posters. We'll have the poster wall up there. Wavy Gravy will be there to MC. We have shall we say, a date-appropriate sponsor for the event. Full Moon Farms. Talk about serendipity. So it's all cool. So I'm going to finish today's show with a song about that. I went to see a wise old woman to ask her what to do. She said, there's only one thing works for me, but it might just work for you. Take a couple of puffs, yes, a couple of puffs, that just enough. Yes, a couple of puffs. No matter what, no matter when, on cannabis you can depend to make each moment happy as can be. Take a couple of puffs, a couple of puffs when I wake up, starts my day out right. A couple more with breakfast helps my appetite. A couple of puffs before I face the world makes the dawn shine bright. I'm so glad to be alive. Won't you share my life? Take a couple of puffs, yes, couple of puffs, that just enough. Yes, couple of puffs. No matter what, no matter when, on cannabis you can depend to make each moment happy as can be. Take a couple of puffs, a couple of puffs with the one I love, like fine champagne from France. A couple of puffs with my doctor and the guy who feeds the plants. A couple of puffs, the policeman, he's cool, he'll take a chance. He's so glad to be alive. 2 puffs, then pass, then dance. Take a couple of puffs, yes, a couple of puffs, that just enough. Yes, a couple of puffs. No matter what, no matter when, when on cannabis you can depend to make each moment happy as can be. Take a couple of puffs. Everyone should take a couple of puffs along the way. Better yet, a couple of puffs several times each day. A couple of puffs in Washington would fix things pretty fast. A couple of puffs on Wall Street make the bad guys finish last. A couple of puffs with all the folks who'd benefit from grass. We're so glad to be alive. Take 2 puffs, then pass. Take a couple of puffs. Yes, couple of puffs. That's just enough. Yes, couple of puffs. No matter what, no matter when, on cannabis you can depend to make each moment happy as can be. No matter what, no matter when, on cannabis you can depend to make each moment happy as can be. Thank you very much. This has been enormously healing for me, and I hope it has been a good experience for you. These sessions, these opportunities to create community mean the world to me. And, I've been focused all year long on playing songs I wrote, including a lot that I'd never performed in public before. And that has been really exciting. And I'll try to mix it up going forward. But I wanted today to go back and play a set that's mostly covers because there are just so many great songs, and it's important to play them every once in a while. And there were so many that really fit this moment, and I wanted to get as many of them in as I could. I will not be playing next week because we will be in Ventura for the Skull and Roses Festival, where our gig is early on Sunday afternoon. I will be back the following week, Patrick willing, and I just want to thank you for being part of this. It means the world, and I just would ask you to look out for everybody around you, because we're stronger when we're together, and we have the ability to provide a safety net when the people close to us need help. And these days, you just never know the burdens that people are carrying. So be gentle with everybody. Be gentle with yourself. Have a great couple weeks. I hope to see you at the chapel on Thursday night or at Skull and Roses in Ventura on Sunday. We will be live streaming both of those shows on Moonalice.com. So if you can't make it to the show, please watch. And please check out our music on Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon and whatever streaming services you like. We're going to be releasing a new single on 420, and it is our performance of the Asleep at the Wheel hit Am I High, where Asleep at the Wheel's founder, Ray Benson, sings on it with us, which is the first time we've ever collaborated with an artist for another band. And it was a fun thing to do. We're really excited about the song. We think you're really going to like it. And the video is amazing, and it features, as appropriately enough, Big Steve Parrish. And that will be on YouTube starting at midnight Greenwich Mean Time. So the very beginning of 420. So it'll be available all day 420, no matter where you live in the world. So do take care of yourselves. Enjoy the music. Please share it far and wide. If you like it, please like it on whatever service you're on, because sadly, that's how the business is governed these days. Take good care of yourselves, and we'll see you again soon, I hope. Bye-bye. And thank you very much to Patrick Sporer for, as always, being the producer of these shows.